In this video, we will demonstrate how to configure the CASB and DLP capabilities in Zscaler Internet Access, or ZIA, to protect data in a customer's ServiceNow deployment. Zscaler DLP sits in line on the pathway between the user's device and the ServiceNow cloud instances, providing real-time detection and prevention of accidental and intentional data loss. To set up Dlp Inline Blocking, first we need to create a DLP dictionary to specify the sensitive information we want to look for, add the dictionary to a Dlp Engine, and then configure a Dlp Policy rule to enforce an action. To start, go to the ZIA Admin Console. Under Administration, select Dlp Dictionary and Engines. Now select Add Dlp Dictionary. Give a name to the dictionary you're creating and then enter the phrase to search for. In our test case, the phrase is, "This is a test ServiceNow violation." Click Save. The Zscaler service provides predefined Dlp engines and supports custom Dlp engines too. Here, we'll show how to add a Dlp engine. Select Dlp Engines, then click Add Dlp Engine. Enter the ServiceNow dictionary we just created with a match of greater than 0. Click Save to exit the wizard, then Activate to activate your changes. Next, we will configure the Dlp policy. In the Policy tab, select Data Loss Prevention. From here, choose Add a Rule with Content Inspection. In the Rule wizard, set the rule order. In this case, select 1. Next, provide the rule name and select the Dlp engine we created in the last step. For the rule action, toggle the Data Traffic option to Block. Then save and activate the configuration. To test the Inline Dlp feature, we will create a new instance and enter our phrase defined in our dictionary. When the incident is submitted, Zscaler identifies the violating content and will alert the user that a violation has taken place. Next, let's see how we can configure CASB and DLP to detect out-of-band data at rest for policy violations and detect malware for attachments in a ServiceNow cloud deployment. First, we'll add ServiceNow as a SaaS tenant application in our ZIA console. To do this, click Administration, select SaaS Application Tenants, Add SaaS Application Tenant, and select ServiceNow from the list. Then give it a tenant name as an identifier. Now log in to the ServiceNow console as the administrator to verify that the Oauth authentication is in place and to create API keys for ZIA to establish a connection. To do this, search for System App, filter for Oauth, and click on Oauth 2.0. Verify that its status is active. If it's not, install and activate Oauth 2.0 on your tenant. Next, we will create an Oauth API token and secret in the ServiceNow tenant. Search for Oauth and select Application Registry under System Oauth. Select New Application Registries, and then create an Oauth API endpoint for external clients. Enter a name. Here we configure the Refresh Token Lifespan and Access Token Lifespan with the suggested values. Click Submit. We see that a Zscaler Oauth client is created. Click on the completed Zscaler registration, which will now show the client secret. Copy the client ID to be pasted into the Zscaler console. Back on the Zscaler console, paste the client ID, the client secret, the instance URL, and enter the admin user ID and user password and the admin user ID once more. Then select Authorize to give Zscaler access to the ServiceNow SaaS application and click Save. We now see that the connection with the ServiceNow application is established. Commit the changes by clicking on Activation and then Activate. The status should now show as active. Our final step is to create the DLP, malware, and scan policies. Select Policy and then the SaaS Security API Control option under SaaS Security API. Here in the Application category, we select ITSM and then click on Add DLP Rule. This will bring up the DLP Rule wizard. Set the rule order, enter a rule name, select ServiceNow as the application tenant, and the DLP engine called ServiceNow we created earlier. Select the desired collaboration scope and define the severity of the alert. Then save to activate the rule. To add a malware rule, select Malware Detection. In the Application Category Selection field, select ITSM and then select Add Malware Detection Rule. This will bring up the Malware Rule wizard. Select ServiceNow as the application and the SaaS application tenant, and then save and activate our rule. The final step is to create the scan schedule. In the Policy tab, go to the Scan Configuration page and then select Add Scan Schedule. Select ServiceNow as the SaaS application tenant, and for Policy, select both the Data Loss Prevention and the Malware Prevention Policy options. Select all data to be scanned, and then save and activate the configuration. Now we can start the scan to detect DLP violations on attachments in the ServiceNow instance. Back on the ZIA console, select the Analytics tab, then click on SaaS Assets Summary Report. We can see that there are 3 incidents from the results of the scan. Click on ITSM Applications to see more details. With Zscaler CASB and DLP integrated with the ServiceNow platform, customers can ensure inline data leak detection and prevention in real time, as well as data at rest CASB-enabled data protection and Zscaler Cloud Sandbox detection of zero-day malware in file attachments.